Alright viewers, back to the DCS World tutorial in A4E Skyhawk. Today we are learning how to start up the mod and get it in the air by taxiing and taking off from the runway. Let's press the ground menu, go to electrical power and turn it on.
Chief, turn off the ground power.
Whoops, that was a misclick.
Copy. Ground power is now off.
Okay, now turn it on.
Chief, turn on the ground
Good
power.
to begin with.
Copy. Ground power is now on.
Okay, now we have ground power. We'll turn on the cockpit lights to turn on here. We'll turn on the anti-collision light and come over to the throttle and push master light switch forwards. And that will turn on whatever lights you have. In this case, only the. So next, let's press the starter right here. So here it's starting at 5% RPM, so we will right click. At 15% RPM, we'll right click again. Okay, right click again. And now the engine will start. So we'll just watch the RPM at start though. I will set the Doppler navigation to standby. We'll come and set the AFCS standby. And we will set the radar to standby. Now we need 5 minutes for the navigation system to warm up. So let's look at the current time. Do we have a clock in here? Okay, yeah. Right, so we'll wait until about that time there. We can also, now the engine started, we have electrical power, we can turn off the ground power, so hash F8, F2, then F2.
Turn off the ground power. Copy.
We will scroll the radar altimeter. That should power it on. You now close the canopy with left control C. We'll turn the oxygen on. Turn on the rest of our lighting. Cabin pressure to normal, so just left click that. You also want to make sure your starting position is correct on the computer. So 44:57, 37:59. Let's see if that is correct. 44:50. Yep. Okay, that is a bit wrong. So we'll left click, then. Okay, that is right. I was looking at the destination though. The present position is correct. We'll now set the ASN 41 to standby as well. Close fast forward time so we can get navigation system started and ready. Okay, by now that should be ready. I don't believe they're in. It's sure it is, so we'll just set this to the right click to land navigation. And we will set the navigation to nav computer on the selections. We can now also set the radar to search function. You can see it's on now. We can also have it to terrain clearance and anti-ground mode. We'll just standby though. You can turn it off if you want to. You can turn it on if you want to, sorry. Turn it on. Right, so now let's go and taxi. In this aircraft, you taxi with the heel brakes. It doesn't have any sort of like nose steering, aside just using the brakes. Okay, we are taking the active runway. Also, if you're using the navigation computer, you will set it to your first waypoint. So you see there the BDHI has come alive, 12 miles to waypoint 1. Of course, I will cover navigation its own separate video. Although, just as a preliminary, it is very similar to the F4E's navigation from the Widow seat. So any Phantom Wizzos will have an easy. Right, I'm going to vent the throttle and get the nose centered. Then I'll go to full power. I'll start lowering the flaps to half. Okay, we'll use the rudder now to stay centered. The rudder's come alive. And let's begin to pull up. And we are airborne. Gear up. Flaps up. I'll just trim the aircraft to stay nice and at least as level as you can. You know, it's obviously quite a difficult plane to fly, especially coming from like 4th gens and stuff. So it does take a lot of getting used to this bird, but it is a nice plane to fly. I do enjoy it sometimes. So, viewers, that was today's video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Patreon, TikTok, and YouTube. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Shark 31 off.